Hi, hello. My name is Matana. Welcome to Gumzo na Chai.
Hello everyone, welcome to Gumzo na Chai. I'm your lovely host Alex Onyango, and I have an amazing guest. I'd also love to introduce herself, tell us what she does, and how she is today. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Matana Sambai. My pronouns are she, they. I am so many things. I am a therapist, I am a sibling. In terms of work, I am the programs coordinator of Heart Out Kenya, which is a mental health organization that works with a lot of queer activists and feminists through different forms of art therapy. Yeah.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
So what does safety mean to you as a queer person?
Safety. Safety for me as a queer person means my ability to just exist without having to, or rather feeling like I'm walking on eggshells, especially in communal spaces. Say for instance, if I'm going out with friends, or if I'm going out with friends, or I'm hosting an activity for Heart Out, I need to consider, okay, I'm bringing queer people into this space, and with the whole rise of anti-right movements, you don't know who you're bringing to this space. So that means also just constantly checking on the people that are coming into the space, and making sure that everyone who's coming to the space is feeling safe and welcome. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Now, do you ever feel protected by the systems around you, by your family, the police, the government? And have you ever relied on your queer community for safety or just survival generally?
I think the only place I actually feel safe is in queer spaces or with the community. When it comes to my family, it's a whole other conversation around it. I recently had a small incident with one of my parents, which was not as good, and especially because it was in my space. Okay. So it felt like even my house was not a safe space anymore for a minute, although I had to sit down with myself and reevaluate that and ask myself, how is this home my space? Do I have to move away from my parents kidogo to feel as safe? In the community all the time when I'm around queer people, there's just some affirming kind of feeling. It's queer people. And queer people know how to have a good time, but outside the good time, we are also safe because we know that the people who have brought us into this space have done their due diligence, and they know that the space is also as safe.
Right.
The government. Not as much, although I cannot say that there are people who are not supporting queer people, who are not looking out for queer people's safety. I think it depends with the political space that we're at, or the people who are coming into power. So once in a while you'd find that, say for instance, in our previous government, we were safe. It felt like we could just convene, but right now with the new government that has been around for the past 3 years, it's a bit different. It's a bit unsafe. We have to constantly ask ourselves, oh my God, where am I going? Who am I talking to? What am I telling them? Even the allies that we have constantly brought into spaces like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, interesting. Okay. So how do we care for each other when no one else will or can?
First of all, today is International Friendship Day.
Oh, wow.
And I like to remind friends and even my partners or the people that I bring into spaces or Heart Out spaces is outside, when we say this is a community, what does community mean? How are we saying that this is a community without having things like friendship within? And friendship looks like caring, randomly thinking of someone and calling them and asking, hi, how are you? I thought about you. And yeah, it's nice to know that someone cares, because outside the convening spaces, outside activities that organizations say organize, people go back to their homes.
Right.
And some people have partners, some people don't have partners.
Right.
And you're left there alone thinking, okay, why does this feel so lonely?
Yeah.
But when we find community, we find safety. And I would wish that the community spaces would prioritize creating friendships within the community,
Okay.
so that it's as safe and people care for each other like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Okay, so have you seen or been part of a moment where community care saved someone's life or even sanity? And in that regard, is joy a part of safety too?
I'll speak about me because I know that I have healed in community spaces, I have healed in partnership, and I have healed in queer spaces. In times where family is not as affirming, in times where the government is bashing us,
Right.
I have found a shoulder to lean on within the community. And in as much as you see how you'd walk around the streets and you see a queer person, just say your gaydar just look at the person, or even in a space, you'd be like, okay, I'm safe here-ish because there's a queer person around. So all the time I constantly push myself to move around spaces where I know I'll find queer people, because it's the only space that I feel like I can be myself fully and be affirmed without judgment. Yeah.
Right. So, Kwagrao, what are people saying? Yeah, in regards to community building, like, just take us through that.
In terms of community building, I feel like there's a wave of community members and organizations just coming together and working together to support queer people.
Right.
And you know how organizing used to be in silos in Kitambo,
Yes.
like I know that has changed, because where I'm at right now with Heart Out, I've received so much support, especially when we took a break last year and then we just came back a few, like last month. Community is the one space that has held us, and I know for a fact that people are excited that Heart Out is back.
Right.
And that is the one thing that I want for people to come into Heart Out spaces and feel like, you know what?
Right.
It is okay to rest. It is okay to take time outside normal organizing and take time for yourself and rest. It's okay to just find community within the community. And of course, not everyone is going to be your ally or your friend in the community. You also have to align yourself with people that match up to your values, match up to your values mostly. And I know that the people that I am connected with, the people that Heart Out is aligned with, are looking forward to a better space a year from now, a month from now, a day from now. Yeah.
So, what is one way you want to care for your community this year? I think you just talked a bit about it, but please take us through. Yes.
The one way I can care for community is constantly what can I say? Creating spaces that the community wants, not me as a leader wants. I have to hear people's voices and hear their needs, and try as much as possible, because again, I understand that and I know that we cannot always match up to everyone's expectation, but the few that get to benefit from the spaces that I co-create or I create with Heart Out or in collaboration with, say, like this space, has to be from the community. This is what they want to hear. And they have to look at me and say, okay, Matana is doing this. I want to be like Matana, or I want to do better than Matana. And I can support them in that way.
Okay, so what does radical love mean to you? radical love?
Radical love to me looks like, first of all, love for me is a choice.
Okay.
And radical love for me looks like not putting people on pedestals. It means that I see you, I hear you, and I affirm you, and I can also be in a space enough to call you out in terms of when things are not going the way they're supposed to.
Right.
And it's coming from a caring space. It's coming from a space of, I am doing this because I care about you. So that is what radical love means to me. It has to come from a space of caring as opposed to malice.
What's your most controversial take that would get you cancelled instantly?
A controversial take. So I actually think queer people need to prioritize going to school, going back to school and taking up different professions. Because if you're dreaming of a future where we can have different associations of, say, queer doctors or queer farmers and things like that, queer people need to go back to school and not be dependent on organizations to cater for them entirely. So prioritize going back to school. It is important.
Okay.
And we need to figure out a way of getting funds of supporting people who want to go back to school, because we are more than just organization work. We are more than just organizing for queer people like that.
Right.
We can do a lot of other things.